Hey, folks, welcome to an in-process episode of the original Security Table, not to be confused with any imposters
Under the
that are
table.
out there on the interwebs. So Izar and Matt were just beginning a debate about, I think one was taking the side of Mythos is going to save the world, and the other was saying it wasn't, but perhaps you guys could
Wait. Were you
set
listening to
that
the
up
same
a little
conversation
better.
that we were? Because I
No, I
don't
only
remember.
half listen to any conversation that I'm in. So I
Good.
probably didn't hear exactly what you were saying because
No,
I was
Chris has his
focused on something
AI
else.
record the conversation so he can play it back later.
Yeah, this
that
is
is
just a
not what
AI
we were
generation
saying.
of my voice, actually, with the AI's answering.
And of course, AI is in security news all over the place these days, so we have to.
What does AI stand for?
What?
Absolutely insufferable.
True. Then once again, to our future robot overlords, that was Izar said that.
Yeah, but it's not that we don't like you. We just don't want to inconvenience you.
True. Okay, so what were you saying
we
about?
we like suffering by doing it manually.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Mythos here? So, like, one of you was making the argument that Mythos should be able to fix the problems. Can somebody set that up for me?
Well,
No, we were playing with it.
as everyone should know by now, Mythos is the what's the word I want to use, the
Flavor
pinnacle
of the month.
the pinnacle of security today. For those who have access to it, and if you have access to it, call us. For those who have access to it, Mythos is, of course, the latest model from Anthropic, or a recent model from Anthropic. I actually don't know if they're the latest anymore, for bug hunting. And of course, it's pretty popular because it's been under restricted access through that Project Glasswing. But there's been reports of it finding vulnerabilities in very interesting places that have never been discovered before. And so the question was, if today, if you have human coders who are developing, or architects and coders who are developing applications, all the plethora of applications and systems that exist out there, Mythos is almost certainly going to find vulnerabilities, right? It found a curl issue. It found multiple Linux issues. It found, I believe, at least if I remember correctly, I have to go look at the sources here. It found a kernel bug, I think, in Apple Mac OS. There's a host of other things that have been attributed to Mythos. And so human coders are not infallible and will, generate bad stuff. Almost certainly. We know this. I mean, this is why OWASP and OpenSSF and others exist, right? Is to try and minimize this. But then I was pondering, well, what happens when you have spec-driven development or vibe coding, and the AI is developing the application, and you have AI and analyzing the application for security? At some point, will the analysis feed the development that they can have a feedback loop to prevent coding issues? Because the alternative is the AI injects coding issues for Mythos to find, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Go buy Anthropic now.
So here's the thing. I think that on a theoretical basis, perhaps you got something, beginning of something in there. Although I think that the gaps between discovery and training and use play a part in here. But I have difficulty thinking how that would work when in the real everyday world, when you write, okay, let's call it a spec, for the lack of a better word, to start coding something, and you preload your set of amazing instructions. As soon as the Windows starts hitting 65, 75%, those amazing instructions are being forgotten and you don't even know. How many times have people told the thing to use a certain tool to, I don't know, quickly read code instead of grep or whatnot? And over time, you start developing your thing, and you notice that your tool stops being used
Mm-hmm.
and grep gets used again. Why? Because the agent forgot that bit of the context, which is still there, but the magic that is AI forgets to use it. And when you call, no, seriously, that's how it feels. And when you call
that's
it
how
on
it feels, or how it is? I mean, just
that,
feeling
that's
versus
how it is,
reality.
but it feels like it feels like you're basically programming with your grandma, right? Because
Hold on, explain this. Explain this. How is this like programming with your grandma?
It's like, okay, use Graphify every time that you have to read source code, okay?
That's what you tell your grandma?
Not anymore, but
She hit you with
she
a
was
rod or
around.
something 'cause
I
you're
might.
swearing at her.
But wait. But then you go, you write, and you say, okay, let's find where I wrote the blah, 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 and the thing goes, grep. And you look at it and you go, wait, but I told you a moment ago to use Graphify to read this thing. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. I should make a note to do that next time. And then the thing goes and makes a note and makes this big show of adding it to its agentic memory and shit and whatnot. And then on the next paragraph, you go and you say, okay, let's find where we define blah, blah, blah. Grep. Dude, the fuck? Kidding. Like, I just told you to use
This is
the
the
tool.
rated R episode.
Oh, yes,
Apparently.
you're right. Let me make a note of it. I mean, if I go and read the memory of my thingy, I wonder how many times the same note appears in there. Every time with more strident words of, oh, I should really remember this thing.
So I thought RAG was supposed to solve this.
No. RAG is a different thing, right? So you have this. Okay, let me caveat this. This is a hobbyist talking. I have absolutely no training, no understanding, no anything of AI. This is just what I figured out from day-to-day use. So I could be talking out of my cordant here.
Way to sell your expertise here.
Right? No, I'm
just
just caveating this just in case somebody who actually knows how this stuff works.
It's the
there.
humanist approach to.
I could let you in on a little secret. Nobody understands how this stuff works.
There are some people who very forcibly put out their voices that only they understand. So
True.
to those prophets out there, just in case one of them is listening to us, I says, my precious.
And there's all the experts on Moltbook who probably will weigh in.
That too. So where I was going was, you have your context, you have your RAG. Using the magic that is, wow, so much magic. Using the magic that is embedding.
Pixie dust.
Okay? Using the magic that is embeddings, something, Zen, reaches into your RAG, brings the context that was in there related to the thing that you are trying to do, puts that into the context, and kicks that back to the LLM. So the LLM doesn't know about the whole RAG container and goes searching for stuff in there. It's something that's prepackaged. The context goes there, gets magicked away, and comes back to you. So it's two different stages of the thing. And the agent is not going to hit the RAG all the time for, hey, how should I be writing code? It will be looking for like examples of past code of the same context or things like that. It's not going there to figure out its, for the lack of a better word, personality. We are lacking so many better words to deal with this AI thing. So I think that it's different stages of the pipeline. And this thing that the agent forgets instructions that it got a while ago, I find that very annoying because clearly you put stuff in there to save tokens and to put your code in a certain way, apply certain standards, requirements, and whatnot, and the thing goes and forgets about it. So if I needed something that forgets about everything every 5 minutes, I would do it myself.
Why not just re-inject into the context?
Because then I think that's what happens when you do the compact thing, right? It like does a Swedish chef thing and woo from the context, And
really?
you end up with...
Does it make sound effects? Because that would be awesome.
Actually, you can do that with a hook.
Does it have like the Knight Rider, but I imagine it's in blue instead of in red, going back and forth.
That I'm sure that somebody somewhere has already done that.
They've added an LLM to a 82 Trans Am.
And somebody clearly has done something with a prompt for the thing to always be saying by your command. So it probably happened somewhere. But no, that's a different episode. I did some stuff with TTS model, so that Claude, whenever like I run a bunch of them in Parallel, and I always get lost who's doing what. So I have this hook where it passes to the synthesizer to tell me which window is calling for my attention.
The synthesizer?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. Unless I am in the middle of a meeting, then it's very vexing. But because I'm on the meeting on the headphones, but the thing routes through the speakers. So sometimes the people in the meeting go, Claude is looking for your permission on window, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, Claude, go ahead. Do your thing. But anyway. So where were we?
Yes, sir. May I have another, sir?
Well, they say in one of the documents that we were potentially looking at today about the one about the AI, the agentic AI services, kind of document about kind of security features and whatnot for agentic. One of the things it said was privilege risks over permissioned agents could be a potential challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like that's where you were, where you are in your own investigations.
Well, we've been talking about that for a while, right? And
right, our agents aren't humans, but what are they in terms of permissioning?
Yes. So...
Do you make it like early days of OpenClaw, where here, take my stuff, please,
and do something with it because I'm not. But I think that for a while we've been telling, like from the early days of prompt injection, that the problem wasn't the prompt injection; it was the over permission, right? So, well, I think that we were prophetic in there as well.
You know, least privilege has always been a thing, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
We seem to have lost sight of basic security principles.
It's
Did
not
we ever really have them in sight, though?
I think we had them in sight. They were sort of like the vision on the hill, the holy, like from Monty Python. It was the Holy Grail on top of the castle, from that scene.
I think that they were inspirational, but that we were making strides towards going there, right?
We invented a thing called Stride. Not we.
No, we
the industry.
We didn't.
The industry invented Stride, right?
Yeah.
For that purpose.
It was invented. It was born. It self-generated. But I think that in between all the just-in-time training that we have, and I think that even people who are able to package and sell, and I'm opening a huge air quotes here, security prompts for agents, right? It feels like we were able to, at least in some way, shape, or form, to codify the knowledge of secure coding. So you could say that that's a sign that we were getting there.
Well, secure coding is easy, but in your quotes here, right? Because there's defined constructs, right? It's a more defined problem space, right? You can look at a piece of code and say, I have a buffer overflow, and you may intentionally have implemented it, or you may have had a math error, right? Buffer overflows happen because of math errors, mostly, right? You have a 0 to 32 buffer, you put 33 plus in it, all bad. So you have a math problem.
Making errors.
It's a math problem.
It's not a math problem.
It is a math problem.
No, it's a math problem. It's not a math problem.
It's a math problem.
It's a PEBCAP problem.
Matt, stop making math problems.
But security principles are hard.
Yes.
A question. What is the least privilege?
I feel like this is
yeah,
a
yeah.
trick question.
It is not a trick
it-
question, but it is not a
it's
trivial one either.
Yes. Okay, so I think
What's the
that
least amount of privilege that a process can still perform the work that it needs to do?
right.
And how much is that? How do you quantify that?
Once you
Just make
close it
give it
enough
no
and
privilege.
no, once you close it enough and things stop working, you just found the boundary of the least. My problem is, and my fans agree, my problem is that once upon a time, it was easy to think in terms of those things because your privileges were, can I read this file? Can I read that one? Can I write that one? Can I open a socket?
Yeah, I mean, this is least privilege, and this idea of privilege came from the Unix context,
Mm-hmm.
where you were shedding privileges from a particular process.
Well, you had
at the
you still
core.
had a kernel. The kernel owns resources, and then as application wants to use those resources, how much should the kernel let it do that? Right. That was that notion of least
Well,
privilege. Don't give it more capability than it needs.
Than it needed, yeah.
Right.
But that came now. Least privilege gets applied to everything.
It does.
Whereas
that's the
it
thing.
was a construct that existed in a Unix.
But the privilege model now is different, right?
kernel.
Because originally it was a single application on a single system. The system owned all the resources. Now you have something broader
Now you have
than
a
that,
stack of privileges,
right? And a
'cause
stack
it's
of systems that are, or things that are part of that privilege layer.
It's what is your local privilege. It's what's your privilege inside of the deployment that you have. It's what's your privilege in terms of assessing other systems, and
But it's
it
not.
just
But it's not
layers
even
on
just
top of that.
resource access now. It's broader than that, right? Because the
Now it's
AI
got
is
even
the AI is a human in a box, right?
and-
Effectively.
Oof. Okay, we'll cruise over that one. But
Okay, it does language processing and makes decisions.
yeah,
and can use tools.
yes.
So
yes.
Wait,
it is,
so that's what defines a human?
yes.
We're getting philosophical now.
No. What defines a human is doing all that, but being way more annoying on the way.
So AI is human in the box.
You know, I'm dying to say what else is a human in a box, but that's so morbid that I will stop myself from doing that.
Well, okay, so you know how our podcast has like a soundtrack. So maybe this is Alice in Chains' "Man in a Box."
I mean, we could just sing it here for old time's sake.
I have to go back to that one. But
I don't know if we have enough budget to cover an Alice in Chains song over the top of the podcast.
But Matt, where are you going with the human in a box?
I was just talking about least privilege.
Oh yeah, being in a box would definitely put me in a.
How do you tell the human in a box, or how do you allow the human in a box to decide least privilege when the humans outside the box can't decide least privilege?
But that's the thing. You can decide what it is. I feel
you could decide a
Personal
threshold. I think you could decide a threshold. I don't think you can
Wait.
decide.
personal experience here, and only personal experience. I think that the problem is not that people don't know how to do least privilege. I think that people don't see a point in doing this privilege. Plus, there is a very creeping feeling that comes from working with certain developers, where they say, I'm just going to run this thing as root, and you know what? I never know what privilege it's going to be needed tomorrow. So I might as well just let it run as
Give it
as
all.
root.
Yep.
Give it
Isn't
all.
that more of a classic problem, though?
That is a classic
It
problem.
is.
In this modern day and age, you can't really run something. Can you even run containers as root anymore?
Yes.
You have to go out of your way. It's not like it's not coming default like that. You
No,
got to come.
it's not.
You got to make a design decision to say, I'm going to run as root.
Right. Or with excessive with privileges almost certainly beyond what you need. Yeah.
You have to put an asterisk here and there, but I think that it's still doable and easily doable, and even Oh, nobody told me that I shouldn't do it this way. Right?
If anyone, well, actually, if you ask an AI, all right, bad idea here, but if you ask an AI to tell you what the least privilege is, you may not, and if you're a new developer, or if you're, say, a new developer who's vibe coding because you don't have a development background, will you know what least privilege is? Developers who go to school for this sort of thing, or developers who have experience with this thing, know what that, at least that concept is.
Where'd they learn that from?
What?
From all of you guys, from us.
No, wait.
Our security teams, right?
Wait. So first of all, developers.
I wish I could say that's with that amount of confidence that all the developers know what least privilege is.
Wait.
I think
don't
that
you
all
deliver
the developers
training
know
to your
that there's a
developers?
line.
Haven't you delivered?
Of course. But I'm talking about the I'm thinking about the universe of developers that exist out there. Which probably now GitHub's studied probably 32 or 35 million people on this planet. How many of them know what least privilege is? I mean, only a very small percentage have been trained.
It's true.
Look, I heard of people, how can I know what the least privilege is before I know all the privileges that this thing is going to need? So I'm going to do the whole thing, and once it works, I'm going to start taking privileges away until it stops working.
That's how we've always done it.
Right? But
the behaviors, the latent behavior, the behaviors that come out of AI make that difficult, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it's not even the behaviors. I think that it's the speed. And I think that, again, the argument that I don't know what I'm going to need tomorrow, so I might as well just give it everything, is very tempting. But when you put on top of that the layering of privileges, and people all of a sudden have to think about different layers that before were like, oh, somebody's going to take care of that. I'm just going to deploy whatever Terraform or CTS or what's the name of the other thing? Anyway, any of the infrastructure as code stuff, and all the privileges are going to be embedded in there. And to an extent, that's still true to that layer. Layer up, layer down, talk to a new system. That there might be access stuff even in prompts, right? One prompt could require certain access, and not another slightly different might be interpreted as something that doesn't need that one. So how do you deal with that now? And how do you deal with the AI coming in and saying, hey, I need that other one that you didn't know, and just go into the console and enter this stanza here, and I'm going to have everything that I need.
Right. There's also intent, right? The permission that you give it versus what you intend it to use it for versus what it could use it for.
But what I think that I'm pointing at here is that the AI is going to always ask what it needs to get to the goal, right? It's a greedy algorithm. It doesn't really care about your feelings and your policies. It's always going to ask, I need more access. And people now are self-training to give it whatever it asks.
That's interesting that you say that too, because your pre-AI application could never ask.
Yeah, exactly.
More importantly, you could tell it, you could code it to ask, but you'd have to architect that yourself. Now the system can ask.
That's a really kind of scary proposition.
I'll give you the next step that's even scarier. The AI asks for the privilege. You the developer, go into the ServiceNow interface that you have for asking the platform team for privileges, and they very rightly ask you, why do you need this privilege? And the answer is, because my agent told me.
And their answer is, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like,
well, because
it's sense.
Because you're probably potentially talking to an agent.
You are potentially talking to another. So at some point they are going to talk to each other, and we are just going to look. Well, in the good case, we are going to look from the side. In a bad case, we're just not caring. Let them do whatever they want.
And let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, come on, human in the loop. We still need it somewhere.
Well, if we still need it, will we have it?
Many times the human in the loop passes out when it reaches the top.
Wait, what causes the human in the loop to pass out? Just
'Cause they-
exhaustion, or
No. Have you ever seen
No, it's
that
gravity.
slingshot ride where they go up and down,
Yeah.
and they reach the peak and then they pass out from fear or
Or gravity,
I gotcha.
gravity putting
G-forces?
your blood somewhere else. But
How many roller
yeah, human
coasters?
in the loop.
Yeah.
Human in the loop is not a very reassuring. I mean,
Well,
I
especially
know
with
you must.
was it prompt fatigue, right? So
What?
prompt
Yeah.
fatigue.
Definitely, but apart
Wait,
from
that's
that,
a thing now? Prompt fatigue?
it's been. But
Where, what is it? Prompt fatigue on me as the operator, or like the AI gets tired of me?
no, it's when you have been prompted so much to read something and press enter if you agree, that you stop reading it, you just press enter because nothing bad happened before. Why would it happen now?
And at some
That's how
point,
people.
you just run the agent with allow all privileges.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to be
That's why I
bothered
was-
to review every request.
This reminds me that how glad I was when the Brave browser came out with the cookie notice blocker,
Right?
so that I no longer have to click accept blindly for all of my cookie EU
And-
connected cookies.
Isn't that like no script under Firefox? Oh, I don't have to click. I don't have to click accept on cookies because I never see it.
I haven't seen a cookie notice in years at this point. So
I
Yeah.
enjoy reading those actually. I'm
stop.
disturbed.
Wait,
Stop.
wait,
Hold
wait,
on.
wait,
No,
wait,
no, no,
wait,
no.
you-
We're not going
you
any
enjoy
further until
reading
we
what?
unpack this problem.
Wait,
You just said you enjoy reading the cookie notices. You're gonna have to explain in some more depth about what's enjoyable.
You know,
about
it's
that.
interesting. I mean,
I'm
it's
not sure I really
interesting.
want an explanation. I prefer to think of Matt the way that I always think of Matt.
I used to read the EULAs too, but I give up.
You read
Also,
a
it was you.
75-page EULA.
I skim it, just in case they inject something.
This is before. I mean, you've been doing this obviously longer than AI's been around.
Oh yeah.
I'm just.
But I mean,
feel like
just in
this is
case they
turning
inject
into a
something
therapy
new, because
session,
all the
no.
EULAs are cookie cutter, right? But if you look for it, you know, sometimes they have Easter eggs. But the prompt, so the cookie prompt, right? Because sometimes you'll get the cookie prompts like accept or reject. Sometimes you'll get the simply accept. You don't have a rejection choice, right?
Okay.
And then sometimes you'll have these slider bars, and some of them will be on by default, and you have to uncheck them. Sometimes they'll be off by default, and you get to check them if you want. And then, and on other times they're confusing because there's performance cookies, and then there's tracking cookies, and there's targeting cookies, and there's all these other types. And Kim, if you're listening right now, let's have a debate about privacy engineering.
Wait. I lost you on the only thing I can think about now is cookies. I haven't had breakfast yet. Right.
Talk about least privilege. What's the privilege of the application
Hold on.
to take
you
my
said
data?
that you read the
Yeah, I'm stuck
the
on that too.
notices.
I'm stuck on that.
What
too.
does that mean?
Well, they pop up.
What are you reading?
It pops up a little box that says what cookies would you
See,
want to
okay,
accept?
you're not clicking through to some like 100-page document and reading that
Oh,
about
God,
each
no.
website you visit. Okay.
No.
That was my concern.
They
'cause I
do
was
have
like,
those. Occasionally, the sites do have that with more information about how they use the cookies. Yeah, it's all cookie cutter. I don't care.
because I was afraid like we were gonna have to do an intervention here or something. Like Matt needs a hobby.
When you learn about
He has one.
privacy,
He reads cookie.
when you
Here's cookies.
when you learn about privacy and you get interested in these sort of things.
How do you find Matt in the supermarket? He's the one in the snacks aisle, going through all the packaging.
Yeah,
What you
reading
doing?
all the labels.
I'm reading
and analyzing.
cookies.
He's looking at all the labels, trying to figure out.
I do read the labels.
See, I think we may be onto something here. I think we may have uncovered a pattern. Maybe Izar and I, we should be profilers for the FBI because we seem like we can really find patterns.
That's why he likes S-bombs so much.
I hate S-bombs, but that's okay.
He's the one who reads them.
I do not read
Yeah.
S-bombs.
He is the one who reads them.
I need a
cover to
T-shirt.
cover.
I do not read S-bombs.
Come on, have you? Okay, let's. If you've ever read an S-bomb in your life, raise your hand. Come on, Matt. No, come on. He's very reluctantly, if you're on the audio only stream, Izar's very reluctantly raising his hand slowly with one
Did you
finger
accuse
sticking
me?
up.
But you're actually, it's you?
I believe that you cannot criticize something without reading it.
Okay.
Plus,
That's a safe bet.
Wait, did you read an S-bomb or did you read an S-bomb spec?
Yes. But
if Steve Spriggett is listening right now,
we love you. But the truth of the thing is that as every security practitioner, I do have sleep problems. And reading S-bombs is awesome way to overcome them.
Some
like
people count sheep. Some
3-4 packages in, and you are down.
Could there be something more boring?
Well, there could be.
Earth?
I've read
reading S-bombs.
I've read hardware bill of materials too.
Oh my gosh!
Writing S-bombs.
You're just like, this is. It just keeps getting worse. You're like, oh, I just read hardware bill of materials, which is like part number 47242. Are you like Matt's like a robot?
Wait! You used 242? Infidel.
Don't mess with my part numbers scheme that I just invented in my head. All right, Matt, what other bizarre things do you read? The title of this episode is Matt's Bizarre Reading Habits. So we got cookie notices. We have cookie notices. We have hardware bill of materials. We have EULAs, which even lawyers don't read EULAs. Matt reads EULAs.
I skim them.
But you don't read S-bombs.
I don't read.
You don't read S-bombs.
I don't read.
That's a name.
What
that's
other
a name
bizarre
for an
things
episode.
Is there anything else bizarre that you read?
That's a name for an episode. Matt reads EULAs, and I'm sure that we could sell them to the apps that do the pre-sleep thing.
That's like
imagine Matt going, and now by clicking here, you accept all the terms,
all and liability,
and you slide into sleep. Take a deep breath and click.
I just want to know how many things I'm going to violate by clicking the EULA.
You already violated the terms of not reading the
EULA. We got to unpack this some more. So you're reading the EULA to know how you're breaking the EULA?
Oh, come on. You always break the EULA. You always break the EULA. There's no way you...
Well, I don't know. I've never read it. I know I'm breaking it.
You're not reading...
Ignorance is bliss.
You're not breaking the law if you don't know the law. Everybody knows that. That's
I'll argue that in court all day long.
Is it willful ignorance or willful...
No, it's the way that all the Florida and know what you're violating on YouTube go.
I think it's worse to read it and know what you're violating, because then you know better. Okay, so wait, how am I violating the EULA?
I don't know. What do you do to your software?
Nowadays people don't, right?
No,
I don't really have software anymore.
We can't violate our EULA.
No.
I don't have software. I mean, I guess I have an operating system. That's probably it. Everything else is in the web.
And that is software?
It's something.
Do you have a browser?
Software. I do, but
that's called software.
I don't think it has a EULA because it didn't cost anything.
It doesn't have a EULA because it didn't cost anything?
Let me check. Where would I find a EULA, Matt? Since you're the EULA expert, do I report a broken site or brave help? Where is the EULA? Where is your EULA?
I mean, Chrome has no
results found.
For what?
Okay,
There's no license agreement for
Claude.
For Brave?
Apparently not. I'm going to ask Claude to explain it to me because
terms of service.
I want to be a EULA expert like Matt. They have
you have to read a lot for that.
Belt colors for reading EULAs. Like, are you a EULA reading black belt or?
I just skim it, so it's just.
I'm sure that there's a Guinness record for that. Like, who got the longest deep into an EULA?
You know, there are sites that analyze EULAs and other agreements for reading comprehension level.
Somehow, I'm sure there are. And somehow that does not surprise me.
Mozilla had batteries not included, which looked at privacy policies for reading comprehension level.
Which is where they get me. because most of it I don't
wow.
understand.
These EULAs are actually pretty intriguing. Apparently, Brave can terminate my access to use the browser at any time if I fail to comply with the terms. Never knew that.
I don't know how they would do that.
Well, you know that they are so intriguing that they had like classical books based on EULAs, like the EULA for the Red October. The EULA that came from the cold.
This is riveting.
The EULA for the Red.
This is riveting television. It was last updated May 11th, 2023.
Oh, you're looking for the EULA in Paris. Yeah.
That's it. It's like it was a dark and stormy night. That's how it starts.
Mhm.
Wow, cool.
Oh, A Tale of Two EULAs. That's a classic. Yeah.
It was the best of times. It was the worst.
No,
of
it was the
times.
best of EULAs. It was the worst of EULAs.
I'm glad I give.
Apply EULA to classic literature.
I'm glad I give you guys so much to think about.
I was hoping for a Joe Pesci impression.
Do I
by
amuse
Matt
you?
Knight. Do I amuse you? Am I funny?
Jack Nicholson, you want the EULA? You can't take
You can't handle the
You
EULA.
can't handle the EULA.
That's what Matt says at meetings. You can't handle the EULA. We have really diverged here.
Yep.
All right.
We were started talking about AI. We went to least privilege, and here we are on EULAs.
Well, in the big context of things, it's all one big thing. We haven't exploded the 1 million tokens yet.
This is. I asked AI to give me 5 movie quotes and substitute EULA into the quote. It says, "The Godfather. I'm gonna make him a EULA he can't refuse." Jerry Maguire.
No, that's actually a cookie dialogue.
That's a
I'll
cookie.
make him a
That's
cookie
true.
dialogue he can't refuse.
Jerry Maguire, you had me at. I have read and agreed to the EULA. And then the AI pulled Izar's real one. A Few Good Men. You can't handle the EULA. It's number 3 on the list.
AIs have
Number
been trained
4.
on my humor.
Number 4, Gladiator. Are you not bound by the EULA? And then number 5, Apollo 13. Houston, we have a EULA.
Yeah, but it skipped. Use the EULA, Luke. Luke, I am your EULA.
You can't have a EULA. So wait, that means that Darth Vader was kind of a robot-looking dude. Like, he might have actually been software and hardware.
Wait. I
primarily.
haven't even started. Prepare for ludicrous EULA.
Wait, what? Ludicrous, like the rapper?
No, that's like Spaceballs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ludicrous speed.
Have fun reading the EULA, boys.
No.
Princess
Not
Bride.
getting that.
Princess Bride, come on.
Princess Bride.
I don't remember EULAs being in Princess Bride. That's
Have
what I
fun
can
storming the
remember.
castle.
Have fun storming the castle. Have fun reading the EULA.
Have fun reading the EULA. That's what we tell Matt now.
We're the knights who read. We're the knights who read the EULAs.
And the knights who say knee. All right, I think we've pretty much taken up enough time from the people.
Yeah,
that
we promised
listen.
to have a subject next week.
Yeah, well, there was a subject.
We had a
just-
subject.
it was
We talked about least privilege and privacy.
least privilege and
Oh,
EULAs
yeah.
and
Yeah, we did that.
Check. Check on
we had the EULA episode can now go into the archives. We
Indeed.
no longer will have to tackle this topic.
If people click on the right place.
Yeah, only if you click on accept.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
Don't violate
folks,
the terms.
don't violate the terms. I'm trying to think of some other wisdom. I'm at a loss.
Least privilege.
So,
Always
yeah, I
apply
guess
least
least-
privilege.
I'll always apply least privilege to everything that you do, even when buying a car. You can figure out how to do that.
No, we need a last closing EULA quote.
Okay, well, we're just, we'll put up a little window on the YouTube video that says, 5 minutes later, ...
Wait,
Yeah.
5 minutes? You know how long it takes to read a EULA?
No, we're like, he needs another quote. He's thinking.
I'm going somewhere with like Back to the Future. Great EULA. No, too short. Oh, where are we going? We don't need EULAs.
Yes. That's it. That's the end of this episode of the Security Table. Remember, folks, read your EULAs.